Richard Product Gym, let's go ahead and talk about how to get you a product manager job before the year ends, Q4 2024. How are we going to go ahead and land a product manager job before the year ends? And as of the timing of this video, we are approaching the middle of November with about less than 45 days, about a little bit more than 45 days left in the year. Thanksgiving's coming around the corner. So at this point right now, you're probably wondering about four things. Number one, seasonality. You got to go ahead and think. Timing wise, there's only less than 45 days until the year pretty much wraps up and then we go into January. Is it worth it getting a job right now going into the holidays? Are hiring managers going to be taking vacation? What about with the election wrapping up? How does that go out there and kind of affect your job hunt and what it is that you need to go ahead and do differently? Also, factoring into timing, are there specific strategies that you should be utilizing because the year is coming to an end, right? First part of this video, I'm just going to be talking about the timing issue. Second problem that you have is getting more product manager interviews. It seems like whether you're an aspiring product manager or an experienced product manager, most likely impacted by the tech layoffs, that a lot of people, unfortunately, were just impacted from. Getting product manager interviews seems to be more difficult than ever for a lot of people that schedule calls with our program. It seems borderline impossible to get interviews. I'm going to go ahead and talk about how to go ahead and increase the number of product manager interviews that you can go out there and secure in a given week. People that are coming out of our program, as you can go ahead and see from our testimonials, we are helping people land big product manager jobs, landing it in 2 months. 4 product manager offers in less than 60 days. AI program manager role over there at Disney, how I landed a product manager job in 60 days, so on and so forth. 3 product manager offers. 3 product manager offers. 3 product manager offers. If you keep scrolling down, more and more multiple offers, right? Large number of interviews equals a higher quantity of offers. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about all the challenges that you are facing getting more interviews and then what to go ahead and do about it. Either with us or on your own. I leave it to you, but I want you to go ahead and land this job as soon as possible, and I think you want to go ahead and do that too. The third biggest problem that you're going to be having is, all right, well, Rich, I can get the interviews. What do I got to go ahead and do to convert those interviews? Doesn't seem like even when I'm getting the interviews that companies, it seems like a different set of questions that they're asking me. I don't know what to do. I'm giving out the right answers. Doesn't seem like it's resonating with them. Doesn't seem like it's impressing them. How do I go out there and stand out? I'm going to cover that as well. And then last but definitely not least, what are the most important product management skills you should be developing as the year is coming into a close, going into 2025? What do companies care about? Obviously, we're talking a lot about AI, but what specifically in AI? These are the 4 major topics. Please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already. It lets us basically continue to support you on your career endeavors. All you got to do is just click on the subscribe button right here. And then let's go ahead and start answering. The first question is, how do we go ahead and prepare for the product manager job hunt in November going into December with only a little bit more than 45 days coming to an end? Okay, so the first major question that I get a lot, especially as the year is coming to an end, is, Rich, how do I position myself to land this job before the year ends? Because, hiring managers are going to be going on vacation, the holidays are coming in, families coming in, people also flying out. Is it even worth it? Should I wait until the new year? And these are some very valid concerns, especially after we just wrapped up an election, right? How do you go out there and position yourself? So, the first major question that we should just go out there and ask ourselves is, are companies even still hiring for product managers in the months of November and December? I can tell you yes. Well, obviously, you want to go ahead and clear cash and get me to enroll in your program, bro. Not really. Product Gym just had its 7th birthday. So I made a post a few days ago, November 7th. As of the time of this recording, we are wrapping up Veterans Day. It is November 7th. 2017 was the day, crazy enough, was the day 7 years ago that Product Gym first opened up its doors. This was the first event that we had for Product Gym in New York City, the city that made everything possible for me. I absolutely love this place. With that said, during that time, I've had people that were enrolling that basically secured anywhere between 20 to 30 interviews a week. And why is that? There's a few reasons. Number one, companies have a hiring budget that by the end of the year, if they don't use it, they absolutely lose it. And whether it's a good market or it's a bad market, and I know a lot of people right now saying things are brutal, things are impossible, it's not worth it getting a product manager job, what have you. I can go ahead and let you know this. Regardless of if the market is good or bad, and you can go ahead and basically see from my background, I got into this racket as far back as 2014, going into 2016. And then going into, as you can see, the other positions that I've held, I can tell you this. Companies procrastinate on hiring all the time, but companies are, hiring managers still posting up for roles. So I've been posting up like, market is ripping right now. Market is ripping right now with product manager roles. Product manager is like, this was just posted an hour ago. It's like Christmas out here. Blah, 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 blah. Positions are being posted. Positions are being posted. Positions are getting posted galore. And if you're not getting those interviews, maybe it's your resume. I don't know, because like this position was just posted an hour ago. I don't know because I haven't had a chance to go out there and take a look at your resume. That could be it. There could be other factors as well. What you do need to understand is during the end of the year, there's a hiring budget. If you don't use it, you absolutely lose it. And regardless of how the market's performing, that budget, once it's allocated, if you don't fulfill that position, recruiting teams are just going to think you don't need the budget. Like, yo, you guys had a budget approved to go out there and hire a product manager, a senior PM, for the past 12 months, and you guys only interviewed 8 people all year. It's kind of clear to me that maybe we should hand this budget to get another engineer, UX designer, because they've been screaming at me saying they need another headcount. And companies, they always procrastinate on hiring people until the very end. Second, most people are telling themselves that it's bad. Market's bad. Market's bad. First things first, stop doing that to yourself, because if the market is really that bad, that means hiring you is not going to make a difference, which means, like, you can't go in from like a negative mentality into a positive mentality when you're in the interview unless you're like a psychopath, because your brain's going to naturally believe that, but it's not bad. I mean, your strategy just needs a little bit of tweaking. I'm not saying you're bad either. I'm just saying your strategy needs a little bit of tweaking. A lot of people don't choose not to apply. So I had this one lady that was in my program, my first cohort ever, between Black Friday to Christmas Eve. She had more than 71 interviews booked, from round ones all the way to the final rounds, all generated from positions that she applied to a few days before Thanksgiving. Why? Nobody was applying. Nobody was applying because they kept on telling themselves that there's no point in applying, and because they told themselves that there was no point in applying, they weren't applying. Because they weren't applying, they weren't booking interviews. When I was a tech recruiter, the most amount of money that I've ever made always came from Q4, because all the other recruiters would be coasting until the following year, and I'd go out there, take their lunch, and print cash. So there's that. Third, you got election year that just wrapped up. Now, I don't want to go ahead and make this political, but Dow just soared 1,500 points, and people are going to be like, is this guy... Okay, let's leave politics aside, and let's just look at data. Product managers should look at data, right? At the end of every presidential election, I started this business in 2017. When was Trump first elected? In 2016. I can tell you, 2017, I printed mad cash, okay, as a business owner, as a first-time business owner. And a big part of that was the first official year for a new a president after the election. I was told by almost all of my mentors when I was in tech recruiting that if companies are willing to spend money on a tech recruiting agency and provide them with the fee to hire people, to hire talent, rockstar talent faster, that is a very strong indicator of the economy trending towards the right direction. Now, I will also make the point that when Joe Biden got elected in 2020, 2021 was also a great year. A lot of people forget, it wasn't that long ago. 2021 was the year of quiet quitting and the year of the great resignation. So there was a few factors that came into play, and it wasn't just because, oh, we found a way to go out there and like work in a COVID environment remotely with the vaccine, and people didn't want to go back to the office, and then you hear stories about people having multiple jobs at the same time. I will go ahead and say this. It was also because it was the year following an election. So any time follows the election, almost always, I'm not an economist, but from the people that were doing tech recruiting as a service, for at least a decade before I even got into the game, they told me the previous presidential elections, the year after that was great. This year, I don't know. I mean, anything can happen, but it seems like things are at the very immediate short term trending towards the right direction, and the majority of the bleeding has been over. So definitely go ahead and double down on your applications, and definitely, if you want to go ahead and do this thing on your own, by all means, just join my school program right here, and I've equipped you with all the resources to go out there and take this job hunt into your own hands. No longer waste time and just land this job already. If you need help, go ahead and definitely come over here. In all of my videos, the description has this Calendly link. You can go out there and schedule a call with either myself or one of my team members. We're getting absolutely blown off the hook right now, but just know this. We can only commit so many spots in a month. And we can only commit so many spots in a month, and our bandwidth to coach people is limited. So definitely, if you tell yourself that the market's bad, if you tell yourself, like, don't go out there and apply, you're just not. But market has done very, very well at the end of the year. So we have election just wrapped up. We know who's going to be in the White House. Hate it or love it. The year following the election has always been great. Most of the time. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not an economist, but from what I see from how CNN and MSNBC and Fox Business interviews economists, a lot of times these people are just saying very fancily they don't know either. But companies, if they don't have a hiring budget, they use it or they lose it. Third, the first point that I made was this. Product Gym started in November. Started it in November, like in the middle of Q4. And we absolutely went out there and crushed it in terms of the interviews that we generated. So definitely go out there and apply. So another major problem, regardless what part of the year that you are trying to land a product manager job, doesn't matter if it's Q4, 1, 2, 3, or any quarter, is actually since the April 2022 layoffs, it seems like it's absolutely impossible to land a job, because it seems even more impossible to land interviews. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about the nuances right now that change in terms of converting those interviews into the offers. But let's just focus right now on getting product manager interviews. I get about 50 to 70 DMs every single day before I even have lunch from people that are asking me can I review their resume. And honestly speaking, if I could, I absolutely would. But unfortunately, I'm just too busy. But people see that we clearly have a very proven process in terms of being able to land people multiple interviews, which equals to multiple offers. Now, I'm going to go ahead and flex right now overtly how my program is so successful. Is because we get people $300K big tech product manager jobs, landed a product manager job in 2 months, 4 product manager offers in 60 days. These are all testimonials. AI program manager job, how I landed a product manager job in 60 days, multiple offers, multiple offers, multiple offers. Scroll down, multiple offers, multiple offers. The decision-making process you have to decide as a consumer is, do you want to do this with Product Gym, or do you want to go ahead and do this on your own, in which case you can, by all means, just join my school and do this yourself. But why is this program so successful, Rich? Can you go ahead and stop flexing your program? No, I'm not. And I'll tell you why. I want you to get multiple offers, because there is a chance that one of your offers is going to rescind. So most people are not even thinking right now of getting multiple offers, because they're struggling. You are most likely struggling to just get one interview. But have you thought about why it's so hard for you to get one interview? it's so hard for you to get one interview right now because the role itself is constantly changing, because the market itself is constantly changing. So every single day, people are telling me, like, Rich, I get like 50 to 70 people that DM me on LinkedIn say, Rich, why is my resume not getting picked up? What's wrong with my resume? Can you review my resume? I will pay you to review my resume. And what I've been trying to tell people, there's nothing wrong with your resume. Nobody's looking at it. And people ask me, why is nobody looking at it? Because the recruiter that's getting paid $75,000 a year doesn't give a shit about your resume. Because getting you an interview so you can get a job and continue to feed yourself is not their priority. Their priority is to keep feeding themselves. And to being able to say this, because I was a recruiter, I can go ahead and also tell you this. Recruiters know their job is getting automated. I've seen the recruiting technology. By 2025, you guys will be interviewing with holograms. And the recruiters that you thought were losers, incompetent, and any other derogatory name you can come up with to describe a person that doesn't deserve a job or to be working at a company, is going to be somebody you're going to be missing dearly compared to the hologram that you're going to be talking to. Recruiters know they are getting automated. This is actually why you have hiring managers. We scraped up this little Airtable for y'all. Okay? And we scrape up all these roles every single day. We scrape it up fresh for you. Like just warm bread out of the oven. You can tear it apart. Right? And at the time of this video, it's like the end of, like, middle of November. And you can go out there and see it here. We have the date, we have the hiring manager, we have their title, we have the screenshot. Hey, my team's looking for a product manager. We have the link of the creator post. We have the link of the job post, the job description. We basically get all this. You can get all this right now too, that's in school. But I can show you right now. Like, companies are posting. Companies are posting wildly right now. Companies need product managers so bad that they even have somebody from their design team whip up a graphic to try to get your attention that they are hiring. So, Rich, why am I not getting more interviews? I'll go ahead and tell you exactly why. And if you're offended, I'm sincerely not sorry, because I feel like I'm doing you a disservice by not telling you the truth. You have a recruiter that doesn't give a shit because they're not getting paid enough money to care. And then you have a hiring manager that's thinking this. Hiring manager's like, yo, I want to go out there and hire a product manager. I have a budget that's already approved. Why am I not getting any product managers sent through? I'm hiring director of product management a day ago over there at Capital One. So what they're going to go ahead and do is this. Every product manager knows a bunch of other people that want to be product managers and are already in product management. It's like, I get like 20 DMs a week from like somebody who's like, yo, I went to University of Michigan too, and I would like to be a product manager. Can we go out there and get a coffee chat? No, I don't have time. But anyways, right? They post up on their LinkedIn. You know what immediately happens right after this, after they post this thing up? They get hit up by 100 people, more than half of which are not even based in the U.S. Now, that's a separate conversation. All jokes aside, or joke aside, clicking on each PDF to pop that thing open, you review 8 resumes and 35 minutes of your day is gone. Do you honestly think they're going to go ahead and sort that entire pile? They are not. So how do you break through? You break through by doing a few things. Number one, you go ahead and you follow up 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Why? Because when are they... I have somebody that's scraping this thing fresh every single day. You know when they're getting after it? Around 4 p.m. in the afternoon, local time. So most people, they're applying once and they're expecting to get some type of response back, and they're not getting the response back, and they're wondering why. Well, it's because they're getting rushed by a lot of really low quality talent, and they don't want to say anything because they don't want people to make it seem like they're insensitive to other people's situation. But they also have a job to do in a market where they don't have as much human resources and financial resources. I want you guys to go out there and actually do me a favor and think of the perspective and like actually pretend like, you know, user empathy, being customer obsessed, or like, end user focus. Those aren't just like taglines we throw around in product management like it doesn't mean anything. It actually kind of does. Anybody that's working right now is feeling just as shitty as you are. They don't know if they have a job next Friday. They don't know if they're going to get canceled this Friday. A third of the people that are working right now, they are dating somebody or being married to somebody that also doesn't have a job, and you probably have not been a very happy camper the last 2.5 years, and they probably have to deal with that. They probably had to lay off some of their friends. They're probably trying to figure out their own product market fit situation. So they don't really have the bandwidth anymore to like look at your resume while they're puffing on a mango jewel. That was 2021. Like, they don't have the bandwidth. Everybody that's on the job right now is doing 5 to 8 people's work. They're way overworked. They're definitely way underpaid. And they don't want to be watching videos like this trying to get a job. They'd rather just try to keep the one that they have right now because the market is volatile AF. So you have to go ahead and follow up with these people multiple times. Second thing that I would go out there and recommend for you is apply in a group. A lot of times people are actually asking me like, Rich, how are you guys getting so many interviews? It's not about what you're doing. You got to also think about what's stopping you from doing this. Like, if you talk about a very saturated field, it's about like, getting the body that you want. It's going to be New Year soon. Gyms are going to be packed, right? You know how to go ahead and apply. People come to me all the time and they're like, should I do the qualitative approach and just like be very customized? Because I saw somebody get a job with that process. Okay, or should I just go out there? You guys will go out there and watch and see one LinkedIn post and said, you know what? Like, being targeted was getting me nothing. I just sprayed and prayed. I just applied to like 100, 200, 300 jobs a day. Most common answer I get is like, are there even that many openings? Yeah, there are that many openings. Okay, but you just don't want to do it. You don't want to do it because you don't feel like it. You don't feel like it because you're procrastinating, right? 100%. I get it. But those people are consistent. Then there's the people that's like, I just went very targeted. Does that work? It can work too, but those people are consistent. Then there are the people that are like, I went out there networking because my application was not getting through. I decided to get physically out on site, and just talk to people. Does that work? That can work too. But you got to go out there and be consistent. In this market, anything that you expect to do to generate a scalable result for you requires at least 45 to 90 days of hard effort. Now, for me, I'd much rather choose a combination of spray and pray, apply in the morning, en masse, at scale in the afternoon, backing that up with following up and setting out quality, like actual targeted approach. But this is actually why we have 3 times in a day where we're applying together as a group. You don't have to come to all 3 of them, but they're available because people just can't bring themselves to do that on their own. They just can't. It's too painful, and you're not wired to be that unhappy as an American. It's a fact. Let's not fight biology. Okay? Let's really not. Most people procrastinate on this. In fact, to give you another example of procrastination, 80% of the roles that are already here, your job's already here, hasn't even been posted yet. Companies on average hire another product manager, I would say, like every 3 to 4 months. We've had people land jobs just from following with the hiring managers that posted up back in February and in March, saying like, hey, I saw you posted back in like February and March, April, May. Are you guys hiring for another product manager? Positive response rate was up the roof. Like, yeah, I've been actually trying to post this role for two weeks, but I have not gotten around to it. So that's also another trick. Another trick that I also want to go ahead and give you because you're cool enough to stick it out to this video is this. Reapply to all the positions you got rejected from, and you'd be amazed the response rate has been amazing helping us people get multiple offers. So recruiters don't do due diligence when they're rejecting people. Also, reapply to all the companies that actually rejected you after they interviewed you and say, hey, we do this thing as a group. I'm reaching back out because I had such a great time talking to you guys. I didn't know why I was rejected, but if the role is still open, I'm still very much on the market and would love to resume the conversation with you guys. The general response for that is, we had a really good time talking to you too, and we also can't figure out why we rejected you, so nobody keeps notes. If you're still in the market, we'd love to go out there and talk to you again. Why? Because a few weeks ago, maybe they had this idea of who it is that they wanted, and the more candidates that they got a chance to talk to, they've realized that, hey, the person that we're actually looking for right now, that's actually kind of unrealistic. But they're not going to go back to you, because why? Because they have so many other new candidates coming in, so it's your responsibility to go out there and follow up with them. There are 8 to 9 other strategies I haven't talked about, but getting multiple product manager interviews is actually very, very, very doable. There's nothing wrong with your resume. You just have to do more to get it in front of their face. Like, there's nothing wrong with most YouTube videos. It's just like you have to go out there and promote it more for people to go out there and watch. Why do you think I'm posting this thing up on LinkedIn every single day, telling you guys to go out there and watch it? Because if I post it up one time on YouTube, how many people actually take a look at it? Probably very little. But if I post it every single day on LinkedIn, say watch it, 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 you know how many more people are going to watch it? A lot more than if I just posted it once on YouTube and then backed it up with one LinkedIn and Instagram post, right? There you go. Getting multiple interviews, totally doable. You can either do it with us, or you can do it on your own, on school. Either or is totally fine with me. I just want you to get a job, because I've gone through job hunting before. It is a shitty process. It is a shitty way to go out there and feel. Nobody feels good about themselves when they're looking for a job, because you got to ride the emotional roller coaster. That's why 87% of Americans, including in tech, are utterly unhappy with their job. And they do absolutely nothing about it, because companies know you guys don't want to ride that emotional roller coaster, so they're just going to go out there and completely exploit you. But if you have more interviews than you can go out there and count, it will be really exhausting, but you will go ahead and tune out. You will get multiple offers. You will have backup offers. You will have competing offers to get a much better offer. And if anybody rescinds your offer, you have backup offers ready to go. Okay, so the final problem that people have, so like, if we're talking about top of the funnel right now, it's like getting more product manager interviews, and then also dealing with the seasonality issue of like, how do I go out there and change my job hunting strategy depending on what quarter I am in the year. But if we're actually moving beyond that conversation, the other conversation that we're having right now is, okay, I'm getting the product manager interviews, but I'm not converting those interviews into actual offers. And this is actually very frustrating, because what I hear from people all the time is, I follow up with those companies that I interview with, and they end up hiring more junior people than me, less experienced than me, or different backgrounds than they say they were looking for. Number two, I also hear from a lot of product managers where they say they go to the final round all the time, but they're getting friend zoned, which is they don't have a rejection letter, nor do they have an offer letter, so they're just kind of stuck in limbo. Also not a great place to go out there and be. Number three is that they go all the way to the final round interview. Seems like people like them, and then they end up saying like, "Oh, we are gonna go with somebody else with more experience than you." All right. Either way, you're either not converting those interviews, which is frustrating AF, because it's so much effort right now to get the interviews. If you didn't watch, like I mentioned in my other video, in the other clip, but like beyond that, right? Beyond that. That part of it is like, even when you're getting the interviews, you want to go out there and close, because this is energy out of your day. You're not getting paid to do this. If anything, you're losing money doing this, right? So how are we... I'm going to go back to flexing my program again, which you can either do it with us, or you can go ahead and do this thing on your own on school. Either or is fine with me. I just want you to win. I want you to win because I want you to get off of the job. But I'm pretty sure you'd rather watch other things than like me talk about why you're not getting this job. In fact, as annoying as that might be for some of you, I think you'd rather just wrap it up already, right? Why are we getting multiple offers? We're getting multiple offers because we've gotten down interviewing down to a science. So I give people an unfair advantage. I don't know why there's a little flap on my hair right here. I give people this unfair advantage in actually interviewing, because I saw the answers that people gave in the interview process when I was a tech recruiter in California, and I saw that it wasn't so much the answers they were providing to the questions that was being asked, but more so the answers, the questions that they were asking back. So we have to really know our customer in terms of who is ultimately deciding whether or not you get this job. The first thing that you have to understand is that your customer is a head or director of product. What does your customer want? Who is your customer? Your customer is somebody just like you had dreams at one point, and life did not turn out the way that they wanted it to. They're usually, I'd say, early mid 30s. I don't think I think it'd be. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's actually kind of difficult for you to be a head of director of product in your 20s unless you actually have an equity stake or you're part of the company, or like your early mid 40s. You essentially want to do no work. And unfortunately, too many product managers that are interviewing, whether you're an aspiring product manager or an experienced product manager, in fact, the aspiring product managers are actually trumping the experienced product managers in the domain of interviewing, even though they have less work experience. So my team and I talk to so many people that are like, I'm looking at who they ended up hiring. They ended up hiring somebody more junior. Like, this is like total travesty. Like, you cheated on me with that. Yeah, 100%, right? Why do you think you're missing out on it? Okay, the only value you serve as a product manager, and this is going to offend people, but I want you to win. I want you to not only get the job, I want you to get promoted. Is if you can help a head or director of product, along with everybody else that you interview with, either be able to focus their time and energy on doing work that only they can do. That's a level 1 interview. Level 1 interview gets you like a 140, 160K offer. You're talking about level 2 interview? A level 2 interview is that gets you like a 175 to 195K offer. Is you can effectively take off of me whatever it is that I don't enjoy doing, so I can focus all my time on doing only the things that I enjoy doing. A level 3 interview, which is a 200K, 250K plus offer, kind of like the one that we just nabbed right here, baby. Now that is like, you can almost effectively help me do almost no work. So what is the difference? Okay, let's go back to who our customer is. You want to know why a lot of software engineers can't land a product manager job even though they have a technical background? And I get so many finance and investment bankers that say like, oh, I'm losing my job out to like software engineers. Actually, software engineers have a very difficult time landing a product manager job. And it's not because they're introverted. It's because a lot of software engineers feel like if we endorse and hire this software engineer as a product manager, they end up doing our job, and they end up being able to understand that we spend a lot of our time either slacking, or if not slacking, they audit us so much it's almost like micromanagement, and they don't like that. When you are a head or director of product, you are clearing 250 north of 300K. You got into this business to make it big. You thought at this point in the game you were going to get acquired, and you're going to be giving TED Talks from Stanford to NYU. And that hasn't happened for you. And you bored AF. You probably have 1.5 kids, a mortgage, and like there isn't a bunch of 300K product manager jobs that are floating out there. You don't go on LinkedIn and Indeed and type in head of product and there's a bunch of roles. Now, I've posted up some on my LinkedIn, but to tell you the truth, the market was not made, like LinkedIn and Indeed as a marketplace was not made for a 250, 300K role. You know, one of my best friends is actually a COO of a startup. Makes 400K a year. And he's asked me, like, what do you think would happen to me if I got laid off tomorrow? Oh, you're done. Because what are you going to do? Type in 400K job on LinkedIn and there's going to be a bunch? It's not going to happen. This is not going to happen. I don't know what to tell you. Like that's the truth. It's actually the most dangerous position. This is why I tell everybody start a side hustle. So the questions that you need to go out there and ask, and the people that like you're probably like get to the point. Here's the thing: the better you master this, the easier it's going to be for you to get multiple offers. These people get multiple offers and they can pick whatever job they want because they understand this. And it's so common sense to me that I don't know why more people don't do it, but the reality is people can't, even though I show it to them. It's because they don't have the training. It's different watching Michael Phelps swim on a YouTube video versus like you actually training with Michael Phelps in the swimming pool. Ask them questions. When they're asking you a question like, what's your leadership style? They don't really give a shit. When they're asking you a question like, How would you resolve a conflict between two developers? What they really mean to ask you is, and I see so many people go on and on and on and on about how they would go ahead and do that. They also don't give a shit. What they really mean to say is, I have two software and I have two devs on my team. They take up 4.5 hours of my week every single week, like clockwork. I would absolutely get rid of them if I could, but I can't. They're holding me hostage. Nobody else seems to want to deal with it. Either they can't or they just don't want to. Either way, it falls on me, and I don't want to take that anymore. What would you do about that situation? Because that's something I don't want to do. And if I got a budget to go out there and hire somebody, it should really be your problem. That's what they really mean to ask. So there's an answer for that. And I can go out there and tell you the answer later. But the truth of the matter is they're looking for who is going to give me the most amount of my time back so I can either go ahead and do the things that only I could do the things that I enjoy doing, or go back to doing nothing. Experienced product managers have so much of an ego about, like, well, if I did their job, I mean, what are they going to do? Nothing. That's the truth. They want to just go out there and delegate it over to you. If you take a look around the office, or even when you had a job, the people that are making the most amount of money, they're not exactly the smartest people, but they're pretty smart people in the sense that they don't really work that hard. Maybe they're not even that good at their job. But what they are very effective at, and which is why they get the 200, 300, 400, 500K roles, and they're in a position of leadership, even though you can't bring yourself to respect them, and they make you do all the work, but you make them look really good, is because they have effectively mastered the art and the science of convincing the people that they need to, that if you let me sit in this role and pay me all this money, I can help you do only the work that only you could do, only the work that you enjoy doing, or I can help you do absolutely no work, or the least amount of work possible. And that's all you really have to look forward to at this point, is time, because you don't want to go job hunting. You don't want to watch YouTube videos like this of me. You don't want to go ahead and do it. That's what we train people to go ahead and do. Too many people are like, oh yeah, what's your customer discovery process? Well, I go back to this book by author, and I use this 5-letter framework. Boring. I'm going to call it bullshit. Nobody actually uses those frameworks. No, like, come on. It's like watching an episode of Training Day. You do what they tell you to do at the academy, you will die. So with that said, like, there is a way for you to go out there and convert multiple offers. You can either go out there and try to do it yourself. I don't think you have a chance, because I haven't seen anybody else. If you can find another company that can actually convert multiple offers at the rate and scale that we do it, I hope you get your next product manager job for free. But this is really an art that you need to master, which is like persuasion and influence and convincing people to say yes to you. Because this is also why people that are coming out of my program are getting raises as fast, getting promoted faster than everybody else, getting to the yes. And I think that's a very important skill to go out there and have. But that can only start if you have the right training. And it's going to go out there and help you, like, you're going to be making a little bit more money than you were originally quoted in your verbal offer, something that you have to go out there and consider. So, can you still convert interviews into offers? Yes. But what you have to go out there and realize is you are selling your time to take their time away. Also, the other thing here is branding yourself as the person to go ahead and do more roles than just the one that you're interviewing for. In 2024, going into 2025, what most people just don't realize is this. Most people are interviewing with pre-recession tactics, which is like, oh, you're looking for this e-commerce product manager, you're looking for this go-to-market product manager, I can be that product manager. But with the amount of layoffs that's already happened, they're looking for like somebody to be a product manager and like 4 or 5 other things. If you're still left on the job right now, you're doing like 5 other people's jobs too, right? The more you have to offer, the better, more attractive of a candidate you are. So the people that are getting those jobs, that are out competing you, most likely they're coming out of my program, is they're branding themselves either as the person that actually wants to do more, or they actually legitimately can do more than you, versus like you're just at best saying like everything on that job description I can go out there and do, versus somebody else is like, I can do everything on that job description plus 8 other things. What else do you need? That's why they're getting multiple offers. Alright, so what are the most important skills that you should have as a product manager going into 2025? Like what's going to not only help you be in demand on the job hunt, but what's also going to go ahead and keep you in the job. I'll go ahead and answer you. In addition to all of the standard product management skills like go to market, A/B testing, Jira, obviously all that good stuff, you should have an AI assisted SQL background. You should also have something where you could do like CRM dashboards, social media metrics dashboards, a chatbot, and then definitely AI systems design certificate, like something where you're doing something with AI automation where you can automate manual tasks. Now, coincidentally, we offer all three of these here. And you're probably thinking, well, isn't that convenient, right? It just so happens you have a paid course for the skills that we need. Well, let me go out there and tell you exactly why before you call me suspect. Product Gym, as I mentioned, we opened up our doors November 2017. So that was 7 years ago. And there was a huge group of these people here. This was our first event ever for Product Gym. And I would say almost everybody in that room signed up. You want to know why they did it? It's not because I'm a great salesperson. It's actually because I came up with a really good marketing pitch. And that marketing pitch was basically this. If you ever need a product manager job again, we will help you get another product manager job for free, so as long as we are around. With that said, people are like, oh shit, it's a no-brainer. We did not know when we came up with that from a whiteboarding session, which was totally awesome. I can still remember it like it was yesterday, that COVID-19 was going to be coming down the rainbow. During COVID-19, the first 4 months was total mayhem. We had people like delayed offers and all that, but we got everybody a new product manager job within 90 to 150 days tops, because also some people caught COVID. During this round, it was a little bit different. Since the tech layoffs of April 2022, here's what happened. We got a lot of people, pretty much everybody, like a third of the people that's ever taken our program since our doors opened up day one, they came back during COVID. Almost pretty much everybody that I know that's ever gone through this program, they've had to come back since 2022 at least one time. So we would get people jobs Q2 2022, and we noticed they were coming back December 2022 and January 2023. Those were the worst 2 months during the recession layoffs. And then I'd see people come back again. I was like thinking to myself, like, this can't happen because we can't keep on supporting these people. But also, I have a personal relationship with them, helping us open up this business. I can't just let these people go out there and hang. So I was talking to the hiring managers, and they basically told me that there's these three skills. And I wanted to know why. Data analysts are getting laid off just as much as anybody else. And data analysts do not always interpret data. Some people say they do, some people say they don't. Like, it just really depends, I guess, on the data analyst. But right now, acquiring revenue from new customers is not as easy anymore. So what companies are doing is they're studying, who do we have? If the cost of customer acquisition goes up, we're spending more money on ads. And we have a trust recession too. It's getting harder to convert those people to become paid revenue that we can put in the form of US dollars in the bank account so we can keep on paying people. That's why people got laid off. Companies just weren't making enough money. The strategies that they used to be using just wasn't effective. They need to go ahead and do basically two things. Who are our existing customers? How do we build products and features and services for these people? Maybe at a lower price tier, okay, as upsells. The other thing is, who's interacting with our content? How do we sell to them? Or how do we get them closer to making a buyer's decision? Number three, what have we done in the past that's actually worked? What a lot of the strategies that a lot of companies utilize once, I noticed that in America, tech is like, you don't really need an MBA to be an executive. The first thing that you do is you fire all your contractors, your vendors, then you fire all your consultants. Then you go out there and just make a decision. Are we going to fire the people that's taking up less payroll on the bottom and we fire a lot of people? Or we fire some of the people on top that's, more expensive, but we can give the people on the bottom a little bit of pay bump, right? But it's just scorched earth if you take a look at it in terms of combat. But at some point, you're going to have to go back on the attack. And the companies that did find product market fit, they just basically look back at, what have we done the last 5, 10, 15 years as a business? And maybe we can recycle some of those old game plans. All of that requires data. All of that requires you to be able to analyze that data. Okay? So the people that can best put these dashboards and charts and reports together, you are helping your head of product actually make a compelling argument in the form of data and evidence and visuals, because everybody loves visuals, right? And why the higher up should go out there and improve said initiatives. The other thing here that makes you very attractive is that the data analysts that are still on the payroll, they have a backlog of requests. It never comes back on time, and it never looks the way that it needs to. So people are like, this is all I wanted, and you couldn't even get me that. And they're like, well, like, you're going to have to wait another week to get it. They got to push meetings back on the product side. That makes them look bad. If you come in and say, like, yo, I got this, like, I can do it. Like, let me do it. I'll do it. I can do it. Makes you look very attractive. This is an additional skill that you can have. You should know SQL anyways as a product manager, right? The other thing here is AI Assisted Product Development Certificate, which is actually when we show people how to put together a little mini chatbot using AI. This is really good for people that's never built anything, because in terms of a side project, the best side project is something that you can interact with and you can actually use. The other reason why this is product teams are poised to be the right people to help minimize the payroll that companies have for customer success managers. A lot of customer success managers and customer success people, they're taking our program right now because, like, this gentleman here roasted online after firing 90% of his customer support team in favor of an AI chatbot. I personally think it's kind of sad, but if you're in the startup founder group chats that I'm in, I can tell you basically this. They're raving about it because why? That's just payroll they can spend doing something else. So instead of just learning AI, so I see so many people get like a Pendo certificate, generative AI certificate, and then they're like, oh yeah, the certificate. Like, those certificates, like, and they basically said, I got the certificate, what do you need me to do with it? And they're like, I don't even know what that thing taught you to do. And it's like, well, I don't even know what that thing taught me to do, because I just sat through, like, I don't know, 14 hours worth of online videos. When you're actually like, I got this certificate, I'm going to go out there and help spearhead this project, you make yourself look very attractive, because since we started releasing these certificates, the number of people that has had to return to our program pretty much doesn't even exist anymore. So I don't want you to just get the job. I don't want you to come back. There's a lot of work for you to go out there and do it all over again. I mean, if you got to get another job, we will still help you, but it's not something that you want to go out there and spend your time doing. Okay? Lastly is automating manual processes. Anything that can be automated should be automated, and companies are really in favor of that. For the longest time, companies have really put it off for the following reasons: that people are working in the office. But now that people aren't, let's automate. Because in the long run, they're going to get a lot of ROI off of this. So these are the skills that you have to go out there and focus on developing. And I'm going to go ahead and basically end up this video with this. I gave y'all a lot of context, and the decision that you basically have to go out there and make right now is the following thing. Do you want to go out there and continue doing this on your own? And if so, I would highly recommend you save yourself a lot of time and effort by joining my school, Community Product Manager Job Hunters United. In which case, I have another 3 videos here. It's going to show you exactly what it is that you're getting out of it. But it'll give you a lot of resources to dramatically expedite your job hunt, so you can basically do other things like launch your own personal brand. This is something I'm going to be talking about more of in the coming months, because a product manager having simply just one income stream is not how you want to go about living your life anymore, right? That's one. The other thing here is developing a network. You see, your network, take a look at like the people that like I've helped land like a head of product manager role, right? Your network is not going to be developed when you're going through good times. It's going to be developing bad times. So many people reach out to me and they ask me, like, can I refer them to this person, as if there's nobody else looking for a product manager job or a job in technology right now. There's tons of people looking for a job in tech. You know who I'm going to refer? The people that I know. I don't know you. I'm sorry. You wouldn't refer me. Would you refer me? Probably not, right? We're going to be honest. When you're getting rejected and you're going through this highly emotional journey right now, these people are now your family for life. All the people that's in the product gym program, they are now your network, and they mean it, you know, because we're going through a very tough time together. When you hit the 250 to 300K ceiling, I noticed the people that landed jobs with us like 5, 6, 7 years ago, they're getting the highest paid heads and directors of product roles all through this network here at Product Gym. They will refer those people because they knew them. People are like, well, I did an MBA before. When you did an MBA, it was fun. And you guys had a lot of fun because the MBA is just fun. So all of a sudden you hit somebody up for a favor. You didn't even feel good sending that text message, right? Because it's like, oh shit, I remember you as the fun person and, us having fun. This is not fun. This is not cool. But it's just like, yo, when we really grinded it together, that's a very different dynamic. So come, join the program, get lifetime access, learn the AI skills that you need, make some friends here. Let's gamify the process. So much of this, you're not going to go ahead and do it on your own anyways, even if I showed you. Because why? It's just too much effort and you're not getting enough positive reinforcement. This is the whole reason why CrossFit exists, and actually why I named this freaking thing Product Gym in the first place. CrossFit and SoulCycle exist because all the knowledge you need to get the job that you want, just like how to get the body you want, already exists. Why are you not doing it? It's too hard. You can't fight biology. It'll win almost all the time, unless you're a psychopath, like Tom Brady. But with that said, schedule the call if you have not already. My team and I are looking forward to speaking with you. If you insist on doing this on your own, hey, I've loaded up all the resources that you needed to go out there and do that. But I want you to go ahead and win, because I know it's coming down the pipeline right now. And you should be landing the job as soon as possible so you can start focusing on generating additional income streams. Besides, I also have another course showing people how to get into career coaching. Trust me when I say this, there's enough to go around for everybody. My name is Rich with Product Gym. I'm looking forward to speaking with you very, very soon. Let's get it.